Everyone believes you? There you go.
Wait, how did that one leave it on? Oh, I was pressing the wrong button.
The speak button there. Good, how are you? Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3.
Okay, good evening and welcome to the public meeting of the Victorian Esquimalt Police Board for May 12th. I'll call this meeting to order at 5 o'clock p.m. and I will start by turning it over to my colleague and friend, Tim Katuri, for our territorial acknowledgement.
Thank you, Chair. I would like to acknowledge with gratitude that we are meeting on the traditional land of the Lekwungen-speaking people, the Songhees and Esquimalt nations. With gratitude, we live, work, police, and learn where the past, present, and future of Indigenous and non-Indigenous people come together. In honor of the Songhees and Esquimalt ancestors, Haichka, Haichka Siem. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that, Tim. Now I'm just going to look around for any declarations of conflict of interest. Seeing none, I will move on to looking for a motion to adopt the public agenda of May 12th, 2026. Elizabeth, seconded by Charlene. All those in favor? Perfect, motion carries. Next, I will look for an adoption of the public minutes of April 21st, 2026. Paul, seconded by Holly. Any errors, changes, additions? Seeing none. All those in favor? Thank you very much. I'm just going to offer a quick board chair update this evening, and what I want to do is take a moment and appreciate and acknowledge the very immediate impending retirement of our wonderful Deputy Chief Michael Brown. He's been with VicPD for 30 years, which is an extraordinary career, and it's an extraordinary service to the community. Had an opportunity to be here earlier and celebrate him briefly for a moment with family and members and staff at VicPD, and it was a really beautiful opportunity to hear more about his career. It wasn't a surprise to me to find out that I'm just going to talk to you instead of saying his. It wasn't a surprise to me to find out that you are very well loved and very well respected in VicPD. I've had an opportunity to know you and work with you for my entire time on the board. It's been the past 5 years, and it's been such a pleasure to get to know you and to work with you in this capacity. You showed so much respect and collaboration and engagement with the board since my first day here, and I've really appreciated that. It's a huge loss to VicPD and to the community to not have you working here day to day, but appreciate your ongoing support of different projects. And yeah, just wanting to take an opportunity to really acknowledge your exceptional career and appreciate you so much for your support for the community. And I know this was mentioned earlier by Chief Wilson when she spoke to members and your family, but also just how much your family has given to VicPD and to the community as well. And just wishing you such a wonderful, joyful, and fun retirement. And thank you so much.
Thanks, Chair. I really appreciate it. And I just want to thank the board. You've been so good to me, very gracious. And I really appreciate my time here at VicPD. 30 years vanished very, very quickly. But it's just been a wonderful experience for me. So thank you so much.
You are welcome, and I'm just going to pass it over to Finance Chair Call for her committee updates.
Figuring out how to work this microphone as it's new. We are, I believe, what is happening with our first quarter, is that what I'm looking at? Posting our fourth quarter financials are being posted publicly on our website. And Donna Phillips, our finance director, may have some things to say about it, but mostly for the public's information, they're going to be able to see this on a regular basis when we post it.
So this is the final 2025 financial report as at December 31st, 2025. It went to Finance Committee on March 3rd. The cover memo summarizes a $1.881 million operating surplus. One of the main reasons for that is just over $900,000 surplus in salaries and benefits. So this consists of a $1.7 million underspending for staff vacancies. So that represents about 3% of the total salary and benefit budget. And then this is offset by retirement payouts of $322,000 that were not funded from our employee benefit obligation fund. So those consist of vacation payouts primarily that were made during the year. That vacancy underspending was also offset by overspending in benefits and payroll taxes, and that will be addressed in the 2026 budget. And another main reason for the surplus was about $746,000 underspent in other operating costs, and there's ups and downs in a variety of lines, but I just wanted to point out a few higher level ones. So training costs were under budget due to a budget for JIBC recruit seats of 36, and that was based on anticipated need and verbal information from JIBC back when we set the budget, but our actual seats filled were 17 recruits. So that created an underspending. We also did not utilize a $500,000 contingency budget that we have in place for special operations under the Investigative Services Division. And that, when we do utilize that fund, is offset from funds in our financial stability reserve. We had a little bit of underspending in the econ budget, which is good news, and all of those underspent areas were offset by some overspending in primarily equipment and fleet, uniforms, and protective clothing. All of those, reflecting vehicle maintenance costs related to aging fleet and significant cost increases in specialized equipment and uniforms. In the summary, you also notice a big increase in revenues and kind of a matching increase in transfer to the Community Resilience Fund. So we received just over $1,070,000 from the Community Resilience Fund. This was treated as a grant revenue in 2025, and that was a federal initiative administered by Public Safety Canada to prevent and counter violent extremism. So the funding went into revenue and then it went back out. So it's an offset, primarily an offset. And any money that's not spent we can use in future years, and there's no timeline to spend that money. And then in the report, our capital budget was slightly over, just by about $53,000, primarily due to a delay in delivery of vehicles, which we mostly managed to mitigate through savings in computer equipment, furniture equipment, and facility improvements. The report also includes a reserve fund report. This is an annual report that we do once the year end is finalized. And you can see in the report all the ins and outs. I'll just speak briefly to just the ending balances. So we have two kind of primary reserve funds: our financial stability reserve, which is our operating contingency fund. It's been topped up to $1.98 million, and that's equivalent to 2.5% of our operating budget, which is what our framework agreement allows. And we also have our capital reserve fund of just over $1.5 million, and this can be used in future years for our capital expenditures if they're budgeted for. So that's available $3.5 million. In addition to that, we have just over $1,066,000 that's in the reserve now for the Community Resilience Fund, which I just mentioned. And so there's various streams with various funding restrictions for that amount, some of which is available to other police agencies. We also have just under $800,000 for the Evergreen Fund. That's for our integrated units for capital and equipment contingency for future years, and it's for the GVERT, the Greater Victoria Emergency Response Team, the Public Safety Unit, and the Integrated Mobile Crisis Response Team. That's the IMCERT, and the IMCERT was paid out because that integrated unit was disbanded, so it's paid out in January or February of 2026. And then we also have just over $7.2 million for the Employee Benefit Obligation Fund, which is not really a reserve, it's more like a liability that's available for future years for retirement payouts based on actuarial valuation. So all told, it's just $12.6 million. And that's the end.
Thank you
Are
very
there
much.
any questions? Sorry. Any questions for our finance director? No? Very thorough report. Thank you, Donna.
Perfect. Moving on to item F, the BC Association of Police Boards update. I'm going to provide an update at the next meeting, which will allow me an opportunity to talk about the BC Association of Police Board Conference that is happening next week in Whistler. So my update is best saved for after that. Thanks very much. And item G is the board member engagement update, and this provides an opportunity for any board members who are here to let us know about any activities they've attended on behalf of the Victoria and Esquimalt Police Board and tell us about them. Tim, go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. And yeah, it was quite the privilege to attend a swearing-in ceremony of, I think it was class 108? 180, thank you. I mixed up my 0 and 8. Wonderful, wonderful day with 11 new recruits. The best part of that process was hearing the stories, hearing the backgrounds, hearing where they're coming from, what they're bringing to VicPD. And also, for me, it is seeing the membership that shows up to welcome the new recruits. That shows that this is a department that is welcoming to new recruits, that is supportive of the journey, and that also values that process that goes into bringing people into this incredible organization. It was also wonderful to have Oak Bay represented there with the chief and the deputy. I hope they saw something of the incredible nature of VicPD in what we did. Again, mention that the family and friends of our recruits that show up for that, the pride they have in their children and their husbands and their fathers that are going into an incredible career of policing that then will culminate in 30 years of service that we'll celebrate here as well. So the whole day was, it was a short, quick morning, but one that was very, very incredibly fulfilling and gives me confidence in the people that are coming into this organization. And I'll say, Chief, you always speak really well and motivate, and I think the values that you demonstrate that this department will stand up to, I think are incredible, and I hope that, no, I don't hope, I know that our recruits will live up to those standards. So for me, that was a very, very important moment. Thank you.
Thank you very much for sharing, Tim, and for taking time to be there on behalf of the board and to speak. Are there any other board members who would like to share during this time? Seeing none, I will hand it over to you, Chief Wilson, for the Chief Constable update.
Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. Tim, thank you very much for your kind words. That was a wonderful morning and such a beautiful location as well at the Gorge Pavilion. Over this reporting period, VicPD continued to focus on strategic planning, community engagement, operational responsiveness, and strengthening partnerships, both locally, provincially, and nationally. We had a strategic planning day held with the board and the senior leadership team on April 22nd, and the work has continued to refine VicPD's strategic framework and broader Your Voice, Your VicPD, which many members of the public may be familiar with. This work is intended to ensure the department's future priorities reflect operational realities, member feedback, and evolving expectations from the communities that we serve. Throughout this reporting period, we continued engagement with a wide range of community organizations and partners. I visited the Victoria Sexual Assault Center with a number of colleagues from VicPD and met with leadership and staff to discuss opportunities for continued collaboration and coordination in support of survivors in our communities. I also met with Street to Home, the Cridge Center, My Health Span, the Umbrella Society for Addictions and Mental Health, and other community partners working to support vulnerable populations and improve community well-being outcomes. On May 2nd, I attended the Victoria Women's Transition House Gala in support of their important work being done to support women and families in our communities, and came away from the silent auction with a trip to Tofino for the weekend. So I'm really looking forward to that. Operationally, members continue to respond to a broad range of incidents and public safety concerns throughout Victoria and Esquimalt, including calls related to mental health, addictions, investigations, suspicious occurrences, and public disorder. The Community Services Division and Beat Team, the Foot Patrol Unit, also continued proactive engagement and visible patrols in the downtown core and surrounding neighborhoods while working closely with businesses, residents, outreach organizations, and service providers. Vic PD also continues to heavily focus on recruitment, training, and wellness initiatives to support our members and ensure long-term organizational sustainability. As Tim mentioned, and we talked a little bit about last Friday, I had the absolute privilege, I think it's one of my favorite things to do as chief, to swear in 11 new Vic PD members at the beautiful Gorge Pavilion. This is the largest class in Vic PD's recent history, certainly over the last number of decades. They will attend the Police Academy at the JIBC on the mainland, and they will be the last to do so for at least the next 2 years as we launch our South Island Police Academy later this year in September. It was an incredibly proud moment for the organization and a really important milestone for policing on Vancouver Island. During this reporting period, Vic PD also continued participation in important regional, national, and international public safety discussions. On April 27th, I participated as a speaker at the Invictum Forum in New York, attended the Leaders in Counterterrorism Alumni Association conference on April 28th and 29th, where I was really honored to be nominated as vice president of that board. These engagements support information sharing and collaboration around organized crime, violence prevention, and public safety issues, and is particularly important as we build out our operational response in the wake of a mass casualty event here in Victoria. We always, of course, do everything we can to ensure an event like that does not occur. However, if it does, we want to make sure that we are properly prepared to support our communities. Work also continued on the Track and Trace initiative, including meeting with provincial partners regarding future phases of the project. This initiative continues to generate a significant amount of interest as an innovative approach to understanding and responding to the toxic illicit drug supply. On April 24th, I also had the opportunity to meet with the mayor, police chief, and fire chief from Port Angeles to talk about our cross-border relationship, along with other members here at Vic PD as we continue collaboration between us and that community. And finally, as always, I want to acknowledge all Vic PD members and civilian staff for their continued professionalism and dedication. The demands placed on policing continue to evolve rapidly, and our members continue to react with professionalism, compassion, and such incredible commitment to the communities we serve. Overall, this reporting period reflects continued progress on a number of fronts. And before I close off, I would be remiss if I didn't also acknowledge the retirement of Deputy Chief Brown. We have spent some time today celebrating and acknowledging the incredible career that he has had here at Vic PD. On a very personal note, I want to say that, coming in as an outside chief in September, I could not have asked for two more supportive deputy chiefs than I have in Deputy McRae and Deputy Brown. And Michael, it's been such a pleasure working with you. I will miss you dearly. I'm looking forward to your continued involvement in the South Island Police Academy. And of course, we wish you all the health and happiness and wonderful experiences in this next chapter of your life. Thank you for your service.
Thanks, Chief. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Chief. Now I'm going to move on to item I, the Deputy Chief Constable's update. Who's going to go first?
Nothing for me. Thanks, Chair.
Thank you, Chair. Two updates for the board. The first, I'll start with something that we've been waiting for now for a number of years and is finally here, which is FIFA 2026. By the time we have our next meeting, we'll be 4 or 5 days into the actual event. I would say for us here at Vic PD and for us here regionally, there still is what I would call a little bit of unknown on how this is going to directly impact us, but I can say that we are very well prepared and able to be flexible for whatever comes our way. I'm happy to let you know that our very own Inspector Connor King will be the Gold Commander for the purposes of regional FIFA deployments, so working very closely, of course, with our partners and other partner police agencies, but Inspector King will be the primary point of contact and the primary Gold Commander for the purposes of the FIFA events. But there's much contingency planning that's been occurring with many people here as well as in our partner agencies, in addition to having that local view for both Victoria and Esquimalt, but also a regional view for our other municipalities that are in the southern Vancouver Island. When we meet next, I will have a bit better sense of how it's all rolled out and how the impacts are impacting us more or less, as we will be, as I say, 4 or 5 days into the actual games by the time we meet next. The second is just briefly updating you on a new program that's being rolled out provincially called CPOI, which stands for Chronic Property Offending Intervention Initiative. It's a mouthful. What this is building on a program called REVOI, which has been in place for a number of years and sponsored by the provincial government, where REVOI is set up for repeat violent offenders. The CPOI program is set up for repeat property offenders, and in order to try and work better to make sure that they are held accountable for their actions, but also better supported on the back end if they are continually committing property offenses. The partners involved are police agencies, Crown Council, corrections, and probation, all working together with a list of clients to be able to make sure we are trying to give them, as I mentioned, the best support possible on the back end, so try and decline the offending, but also ensure that they are held appropriately accountable on the front end if they are continually committing the offenses. This will be launching on June 1st. The province did a pilot in conjunction with a variety of other police agencies, including the Nanaimo RCMP, the Nelson Municipal Police Department, and the Kelowna RCMP, and it was highly successful. We've seen a lot of success with the REVOI program, and we anticipate there will be some continued success with the CPOI program, adding on to the REVOI program. So beginning June 1st, Vic PD will of course be participating in this, and we look forward to seeing how the results impact our two communities over the next number of months. As I mentioned, we've seen good progress with REVOI, and we do anticipate some good progress with CPOI as well. And those are my updates, Chair. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Deputy Chief McRae. I've got a question from Holly.
Is that for residential or commercial or both?
Primarily around property crime relating to commercial businesses. Although I would say it's not exclusive to that. There is, generally speaking, other tools available to us when it's more property crime relating to residential addresses. So it's not really designed for that purpose.
Thank you very much. Any further questions? Yes, Tim.
Thank you. Through the Chair, the success of these programs is not in question. The province putting this on, does this come with additional funding, and what are the human resource implications?
Through you, Chair, thanks for the question, Tim. That is a very valid question, and it is something that has been discussed and actively is being discussed at the BC Association of Chiefs of Police. The addition of CPOI is not coming with any additional funding for the purposes of the police side. It is coming with funding for the two support, Crown Council, corrections, and probation. This is something that has been raised through the BC Association of Chiefs of Police as well as the BC Association of Municipal Chiefs of Police as a potential shortfall for the program, because while it is effective, certainly we've seen it with REVOI and we anticipate CPOI to be effective, it does require demands on police time. And that has been recognized for the other three partners at the table, but hasn't been recognized in the same way for the purposes of the police agencies that are participating. The one thing I would add is that the province, in order to support Revoy, as well as Sepoy from an operational perspective, has been very helpful with funding that we've spoken about here before through both C-STEP as well as site funding. So from an operational perspective, I think that that funding remains and we still will have access to it. One of the concerns that has been raised, and as I mentioned at the two tables of the chiefs of police, has been the administrative work that needs to be done, and then where does that fit within a police department, and how do you find time off the corner of yet another person's desk of an agency our size to fit that in. And it's something, quite frankly, we've had a lot of talk and discussion about internally on the operational side of VicPD to see where this might sit and where it most appropriately lays. And where it sits today actually may not be where it sits in the next 6 months as we work through the actual demand. I can tell you, for the purposes of Revoy, from an administration perspective, and again, administratively still needs to be done by a police officer because it's a police role, it's just not out on the street. It is about 50% of a full-time staff member's, a full-time police officer's workload is helping manage the Revoy program. The trade-off is very worth it, but now adding Sepoy to it, and that officer has many other things, as our high-risk offending officer has many other tasks that they are supposed to be doing. It's figuring out where and what the demand will actually be with Sepoy, and then how we make it fit. So all to be worked through as we get a little bit further into it, but it is certainly something on our radar.
Thank you very much. Seeing no more questions, I will move on to new business. Item A, which is the appointment term expiry for board member Holly Courtwright. Holly is a municipal appointee. She's been previously appointed by the municipality of Esquimalt, or the township of Esquimalt. And her term her term is coming up and ending June 30th, 2026, and at this time has not been renewed. I want to take an opportunity to thank Holly so much for her extraordinary commitment to the board. You have been a engaged 10 out of 10 board member. You've been so fun and professional to work with, and you always ask the best questions in the most direct way. And I've appreciated the opportunity to work with you and get to know you so much, and I think on behalf of the whole board, we could not be more sad to see you go. So thank you so much, Holly, and yeah.
Thank you. To say that I wasn't surprised, I was very surprised to hear that my term wasn't going to be renewed. But that being said, I do want to take this opportunity to thank everyone. Sorry. It has been an absolute pleasure working with all of you. I have enjoyed my time here so much. And it means a lot that I know my questions are very direct, but I feel like I found a good home here for those types of direct questions. So I really do appreciate it. I've learned so much, and VicPD has gone through, I can't describe the amount of change over the last 3 years that I've been here. It's astronomical. So that being said, I did respond to Esquimalt when I received notice. Should anyone care, the letter should be public record with them. You can go track it down if you'd like to read it. I won't speak any more about that, but I would like to take this opportunity just to ensure that the public is very, very aware of the fact that municipal appointees are governed under the Police Act to work in the public's best interest for policing overall. We, as municipal appointees, do not report to council under any circumstances. So I want to make absolutely sure that that is very, very clear, because my statutory obligation is to the public. It is 100% not and never has been to a municipality. That being said, I'm here until June 30th, and I will carry on with my very, very straightforward questions, and I embrace every opportunity to work with Vic PD in the future, and I've absolutely loved my time here. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Holly. Maybe you can conduct a board training in asking extremely direct and pointed questions in advance of your last meeting. Is there any other new business to add at this time? Seeing none, I will look for a motion to adjourn the meeting. Charlene, seconded by Marianne. All those in favor? Motion carries. Thank you very much. Wishing everybody a wonderful evening. A service and policy meeting following the public meeting. Let me just sorry. I blame Paul for not being here to remind me. Okay, great. I will, sorry for that brief interruption. I will call to order the Service and Policy meeting agenda for the Victorian Esquimalt Police Board on May 12th, right now at 5:31 p.m. And I will quickly look for a motion to adopt the agenda of May 12th, 2026. Tim, seconded by Holly. All those in favor? Thank you. And I will look for an adoption of the Service or Policy minutes of April 12th, 2026. Elizabeth, seconded by Tim. All those in favor? Thank you very much. And just for a quick review for information in the package, there is a letter dated from April 2023, and all information regarding complaint 24-25449 was sent via email to and confirmed received by the Office of the Police Complaint Commissioner. So this is very much just an administrative meeting to make sure that everything is brought forward to the public as it should be. Great. Now we will adjourn the Service and Policy Complaint meeting, and this time it is not a joke. Can I see a motion for that, Holly? Elizabeth, all those in favor? Thank you very much. All meetings are adjourned.